I think I'm about to have an affair. Yeah, my husband doesn't know that I'm falling in love with the senior surgeon at my workplace where I am a nurse. And I just have to let you guys know, my husband is so safe. He pre-warms my car, he makes optimal dinner schedules, he tells me 2 weeks in advance before he schedules a date, and I just need randomness. I need chaos. I need something more than perfection. And I know that might sound crazy, but I'm not in love with my husband anymore, and I'm about to do the unthinkable. I'm going to cheat on him, and I'm going to record my entire story while I do it with every single update. I need to get this out there before it eats me alive. Sorry if this is long. I'm typing this in my car after my shift, and my hands are still going nuts from the hospital caffeine. I've been married to my husband for 12 years. He's, well, how do I even describe him without sounding like an ungrateful monster? He's perfect on paper, like really perfect. The kind of perfect that makes other women at book clubs say you're lucky, while their eyes do that thing when they're trying to figure out what the catch is. There's no catch, that's the problem. Every morning at 6 o'clock in the morning, he goes out to pre-warm my car because he just knows I hate the cold steering wheel. He sets the thermostat to exactly 67 degrees at 9:45 at night because that's my optimal sleep temperature, according to some study that he read. And he texts me photos of dinner portioned into glass containers, never plastic because of micros, with little notes like, "Salmon has omega-3s for long shifts tomorrow." He would fold my scrubs inside out, because he read somewhere it prevents lint transfer. Do you know how insane it makes me that my husband researches the optimal way to fold my clothes? Sometimes I actually flip them inside out just to feel something. I'm a cardiac nurse, been at the same hospital for 8 years, and 6 months ago, we got a new attending surgeon that transferred in from Johns Hopkins. I'm just gonna call him Dr. M. He's everything my husband isn't. Sharp edges, quick decisions, the kind of dry humor that makes you laugh before you realize what it actually means. The first time he said "good catch" about something I flagged during rounds, I replayed it in my head for 3 days. Over 2 words. What is wrong with me? I've just started timing my coffee runs to intercept his rounds, and the barista at the hospital, Starbucks, started writing both our names on the sleeve. As like a joke, because we always show up within 5 minutes of each other. The usual for the dream team is what she said last week, and I wanted to just pass away from the frame of the cup at the same time. My husband plans these thoughtful dates, right? Last month it was a Savannah weekend with a trolley tour and a riverboat dinner, complete with a laminated itinerary. I told him I had to cover epic downtime overtime, and I'd spent the weekend catching up on charts I could have done any time, eating vending machine sandwiches hoping to run into Dr. M. But here is the pathetic part. My friend Kay, which is also a nurse, mentioned that Dr. M's cologne smells like bergamot. So I bought a $19 bergamot roll from Target, and I just wanted to test if anyone notices. Nobody did, but now I smell it and think of him standing too close during trauma codes, his voice cutting through the chaos like a scalpel. He tucked a loose strand of my hair behind my ear last week. We were in the charting room discussing a post-op complication, and my hair kept falling in my face, and he just did it, like it was nothing. My husband hasn't touched me spontaneously in 2 years without asking, "Is this okay?" Don't get me wrong, consent is important, but sometimes I want someone to know it's okay without having to file a formal request in triplicate. I've started hiding my wedding ring under my scrub cap clip during shifts. I tell myself it's because the gloves snag it, but that's been true for 8 years, and I never cared then. My husband leaves sticky notes on the bathroom mirror. Today's said "proud of you." Coach's soccer's finals at 7 if you're free. Coach is his nephew. I'm never free anymore. I'm either at work or pretending to be at work or sitting in my vehicle in the hospital parking garage, listening to podcasts about women who blew up their lives and start over in Italy. A resident said Dr. M and I are the A-team. During a particularly bad trauma, I just laughed too hard and too loud, and then overcorrected to a deadpan, then excused myself to check on a patient who was definitely stable. Kay followed me and said, "Girl, everyone can see it." But see what? Nothing has happened. Nothing! I'm falling apart over absolutely nothing. Last Tuesday, my husband ordered tulips from Trader Joe's because they were your mom's favorite. My mom passed away 3 years ago. He remembers. He always does. I stood in our kitchen crying over these stupid $4 tulips, but not for the reason he thought. I made a pro-con list in my phone. Security, kindness, shared houseplants. We have 47 houseplants. He knows my allergies and he saves the good parking spots for me and would donate a kidney without thinking twice. But not him. Hunger, spark, that feeling in your chest before the roller coaster drops, being seen as more than a collection of needs to be managed. Someone who doesn't ask permission to exist in my space. Me, but alive. The last one looks so stupid typed out, but I feel like I'm watching myself from outside my body. Going through motions, wake up, accept the pre-warmed car, work, dodge the thoughtful dinner, sleep at optimal temperature, and repeat. I'm 37, and I feel like I've already lived my life. Kay warned me yesterday, "Oh, you know Dr. M is married. His wife's on the hospital board. This place is smaller than you think." Yeah, I get it. I know that he's married. I've seen the ring. Though he never wears it during surgery, even when he's not scrubbed in. I hate that I notice. I hate that it gives me hope. His wife sends those fancy cookie arrangements to the break room with notes written in perfect cursive, and she seems nice, lovely even. I'm sure she doesn't refold his laundry out of spite. My husband suggested couples counseling last month. I said I was just exhausted from the night shift, and he bought me a silk eye mask and magnesium supplements. The man's response to everything is to optimize life. I want someone whose response is to break it, to make a mess, to not have a 5-year plan for every feeling. We went to his hospital charity gala last month, and I wore a dress I bought specifically because it was nothing he would expect. Dark, tight. The kind that things, that makes you walk differently. Dr. M said, "Ooh, you clean up well," directly into my ear while we were at the party. My husband was 10 feet away, earnestly explaining our neighborhood's recycling program to an intern. The photographer caught us in a candid moment. Me laughing at something Dr. M said. Him looking at me like I was the only person in a room full of donors, and when my husband saw it in the event gallery, he said, quote, "You look happy here," and ordered a print for his office. I wanted to scream. Here's what I know will happen. I'll keep stealing moments that are not quite cheating, but are not quite nothing. I'll keep lying about overtime, and my husband will keep being wonderful in ways that make me feel like I'm drowning in tea. Dr. M will keep being just unavailable enough to feel safe and just available enough to feel possible. Or maybe I'll do something stupid. Maybe I'm writing this because I know I'm about to do something stupid and need strangers on the internet to either talk me out of it or give me permission. Am I a villain for wanting to feel alive? Is there a way to leave someone, entirely of kindness without destroying them? I passed the unit where cardiac patients go and recover. Yeah, yesterday one said, "You saved my life." I wanted to laugh. I can't even save my own life. Edit. Well, since you're asking, yes, I've tried talking to him about needing more passion, and he downloaded a spontaneous date idea app and now schedules surprise dates 2 weeks in advance so I can plan around them. I can't make this up. Edit 2. To those saying just leave if you're unhappy, okay, with what money? Have you seen housing prices? And leave to where? Oh, to be a 37-year-old divorced nurse, starting over with nothing while he tells everyone he has no idea what went wrong because honestly, he doesn't. At least if I blow it up, there's a reason. I sound so insane, don't I? Update number 1, the folder nobody was supposed to open. I hope you're ready for this one. Posted 10 days ago. I know. Everybody said, don't do something stupid, and I read every comment. The ones calling me selfish, the ones calling me human, the ones begging me to either leave or get therapy or both. I screenshot the comment that said, "You're not in love with him, you're in love with who you are when you're near him." And he looked at it every night. It didn't matter. 2 weeks after my first post, after a 14-hour trauma hell where we lost 2 and saved 3, it happened. We were in supply room C, the one nobody uses because the door sticks, and I was grabbing gauze, and I didn't need. He just followed me in to check the crash cart supplies. The kiss lasted 4 seconds, maybe 6. Short enough to pretend it didn't happen and long enough to ruin everything. He tasted like hospital coffee and exhaustion, and we pulled apart breathing like we just ran a code, and then he left. Didn't say a word. Just left. I sat in my car for an hour holding the same coffee, Googling emotional affair and how to stop it. Like the internet could perform some emergency extraction of feelings, and my hands would not stop shaking, I called in on-site but charting for my next shift and wandered the hospital halls like a ghost haunting my own life. Here's the thing about my husband. See, he noticed. Yep, immediately. Of course he did. The man has spreadsheets for my moods, and that night he warmed up my lasagna to exactly 165 degrees and queued up my comfort show. I mumbled thanks and stood in the shower until the water went cold and he knocked to ask if I was okay. Dr. M went full professional mode after this, starts calling me nurse in front of everyone and would not make eye contact during rounds, except once. When passing in the hall, he said, "We need to be careful." And my stupid heart acted like he proposed. But here's where it gets worse, so much worse. My husband left for a haircut Saturday morning, left his laptop open on the kitchen table, and he never does that. I told myself, I'll just go check the weather. Then I told myself I was checking our shared calendar. Then I saw a folder. The folder was labeled contingency. I shouldn't have opened it, I know, but I did, and inside shocked me. It was donation receipts to the hospital foundation dating back 3 months ago. A retainer agreement with Bradshaw & Associates, which I Googled as a divorce lawyer. A draft separation agreement with my name. Financial spreadsheets breaking down asset division, and screenshots of my shift schedule with certain dates highlighted, every single one matching Dr. M's schedule. My stomach dropped. Through the floor. He knew. Had he been planning this? That too nice husband I'd painted as oblivious had been 10 steps ahead this whole time. I kept digging. I found emails with a therapist about exit strategies and managing a high-conflict divorce, and I found documentation comparing apartment prices. Found receipts for a storage unit I didn't know existed. Then I found the worst thing ever. An invoice from a private investigator, dated 6 weeks ago, paid in full. The note section said surveillance as discussed and focused on evening overtime claims. I threw up. Actually ran to the bathroom and threw up. My checked-out husband had been building a case while I was building a fantasy. That's when Kay texted. "Saw you and Dr. M at the coffee cart. Girl, the way he looks at you when you're not looking." With a bunch of fire emojis. I wanted to text back, "My husband hired a PI," but instead I sent thumbs up and threw my phone across the room. The next 3 days were surreal. My husband kept being exactly the same, pre-warmed car, optimal temperature, thoughtful dinners, like nothing had changed, like he was not meeting with lawyers while I was at work, and the performance of it made me feel insane. At work, everyone noticed the distance between Dr. M and me. Surgical tech asked if we had a disagreement about patient care, and I laughed so hard she backed away slowly. And then came the gala pictures. Yeah. Remember the charity event, the one where Dr. M whispered in my ear, where my husband bought the print of me looking happy? Thursday morning, an anonymous email hit my work inbox, just the photo zoomed in on Dr. M's hand on my lower back. My face turned towards his, and the space between us that was not quite professional. The subject line says HR sees everything. What? I panicked and deleted it and checked if IT could recover deleted emails. I considered quitting on the spot, and Dr. M found me hyperventilating in the med room and for 1 second looked like he wanted to comfort me. Then he stepped back and said, "Whatever happens, I was not inappropriate with you. We're colleagues, remember." The ice in his veins. Like I was a liability to manage. Kay was right. This hospital is small, but somehow I'd forgotten that I'm much smaller. That night, my husband asked about counseling again. Not couples counseling, individual this time. For your stress, he said. I snapped at him and asked why he was so insistent. He said, and I'll never forget this, "I want us to be happy, even if the path is messier than we think." The way he said messier, like he knew about the kiss, like he was offering me rope to get out. I went back to his laptop that night while he was in his nephew's soccer practice, and, well, the contingency folder had new files, the gala photo that he saved, a timeline of my overtime going back 3 months, and a draft email to HR I could not bring myself to read. Another PI invoice, this one with time stamps and dates that made my blood run cold. Every coffee run, every supply room moment, even a note about subjects appear aware of surveillance based on behavioral changes. The last file was titled For After. Inside was a single document, a letter to mutual friends explaining our mutual decision to separate and asking for privacy during this difficult but necessary transition. He already written our ending. At the bottom of his browser was a calendar notification that said Consultation Family Law, scheduled for next Tuesday at 2, created with his account sent to mine. I'm sitting in my car again typing this, and Dr. M just walked past without looking at me. My husband texted asking what I want for dinner. The calendar notification sits on my phone like it's a bomb, and I thought that I was the one with secrets, but turns out I was the secret being documented. You know, I don't know if I'm being rescued or recorded. I don't know if my husband is protecting himself or setting me up. I don't know if Tuesday is a divorce or an intervention. All I know is that I kissed a man who's already erasing me, while the man I'm erasing has been writing everything down so I can't erase it. Update number 2. Kindness has sharp teeth. Posted exactly 3 days ago. Well, I thought that was it. I thought I wasn't going to update. I thought I was going to be a divorced woman. Tuesday came. I'll tell you what happened, but first you need to know what happened Monday night. I confronted him about the PI and the lawyer, sat him down at our kitchen table, the one that we bought at an estate sale and refinished together watching a YouTube series, and put everything on the table, metaphorically. Well, actually, literally, too. I printed a screenshot and put it on the table. He didn't yell, he cried. And then he went to our bedroom and came back with a folder, and inside was a printed timeline, highlighted phone records, and a log of every late night, cross-referenced with Dr. M's schedule. Receipts for dinners I said I was too tired to attend, and screenshots of my location services showing me at the hospital during scheduled off time. "I started this," he said, "after you missed my mother's 70th birthday for emergency coverage that was not on the schedule. That was 8 weeks ago, honey." He had been documenting 8 weeks' worth while I was falling apart for 6 months. He explained everything with the same measured tone that he uses to explain our recycling system. The donations to the hospitals were for nursing scholarships and my mother's names. The tulips were not the only thing he remembered. The lawyer was consultation only, exploring options, not filing. The PI was hired after I refused counseling twice and started crying in my sleep saying another man's name. Oops. The draft separation agreement was fair, probably more than fair, because I don't want to destroy you. I just want to stop being destroyed, he said. That last line from my conflict-avoidant, optimization-obsessed husband, it hit like a defibrillator. He offered me choices. 3 of them. Marriage counseling, individual therapy required, amicable separation with terms he drafted, and continue as is, while he documents everything for the inevitable contested divorce. He said, "I won't smear you, but I won't be lied to and I won't be pretended I don't know what I know." I asked what he knew. Oh, he said, "I know you kissed him in supply room C 12 days ago at 9:47. I know you've been emotionally involved for months, and I know you think I'm boring and safe, and that loving me feels like drowning is predictable. I know you want chaos and passion in someone who doesn't ask permission. I also know that man is using you for entertainment while his wife runs the board that controls your career. I know everything." He knew about the kiss? The PI had been in the hospital, a janitor, security? I'll never know. That's when he put out the final documents, an email from Dr. M's wife to HR, dated 3 days ago with photos attached in a formal complaint about, quote, inappropriate boundaries between supervisor and staff and nursing. My husband had set up the email. Because of his donations, he had the email, because being on the donor list gets you the courtesy copy of a significant personal matter email. He's known for 3 days and said not a word. Pre-warmed my car, made me optimal dinner, and he just waited. She's giving you until Friday to self-report it, or she's filing formally. It's Tuesday morning. I went to Dr. M and he was in his office with the door locked, and when he finally let me in, he looked at me like I was radioactive. My wife knows. You need to stay away from me. I asked if we could figure this out together, and he said there's no we. There never was. You created a situation that jeopardized my career, and I need you to take responsibility for your actions and keep me the hell out of it. The man I threw away my marriage for. The man who kissed me first, who whispered in my ear at galas and touched my hair, suddenly worried about his career. I said, "Did you tell your wife it was mutual?" I told her you've been struggling with boundaries since your mother's death, that I tried to be supportive as a colleague, but you misinterpreted professional kindness. I told her. Professional kindness? Yeah, I guess the kiss was professional, huh? I laughed, and he looked relieved like I was taking it well. Wednesday, HR calls me. The complaint was formal. 3 witnesses had provided statements about observing unprofessional dynamics, and the gala photos was attached. Security footage of us entering supply room C. Though, not what happened inside, thank goodness. My shift patterns, everything. I was placed on paid admin leave pending investigation, and Kay would not return my text, and later she called from her car. It said, "Get a lawyer. Document everything, girl, and don't text me anything that could be subpoenaed. I'm sorry, but I have kids and a mortgage." Thursday, my husband left an envelope on the kitchen table. Inside was the separation agreement, tabs marked sign here, and check for my security deposit on an apartment he already found for me, and a business card for a therapist who specializes in life transitions. Also, in the envelopes, a printed email exchange between him and Dr. M's wife, where she thanks him for his discretion and evidence and promises to handle this through appropriate channels. My husband. My boring, predictable, too nice husband had been playing chess while I was playing checkers. I signed everything. What else could I do? Fight the man who had documented it while he was still warming my car? Contest a divorce I'd already destroyed, or maybe beg for a job where everyone would know exactly what I was. That night, I found one more thing on his laptop because he stopped hiding it. He actually put my name on the letter, dated 6 months ago. And I'll read it for you, quote by quote. I know you're unhappy. I can see it in the way you refold the laundry and avoid my eyes and stay late at work. I know I've become the manager of your comfort instead of your partner in adventure. I scheduled the Savannah trip hoping to find us again. When you lied about overtime, I knew I'd already lost you. I'm sorry I couldn't be what you needed. I'm sorrier than, well, that you could not tell me what it was I needed to do. He's known, guys, for 6 months before Dr. M was even there, before the kiss, before everything. Friday came and Dr. M announced a research sabbatical, effective immediately. His wife withdrew the formal complaint after I signed an affidavit acknowledging a single boundary violation that I initiated and deeply regret. He kept the rest for evidence for potential future needs, and HR offered me 2 choices. Resign with neutral references, or reassignment to the night shift at our satellite campus 40 minutes away, contingent on completing a professional boundaries course. Well, obviously I took the resignment. I needed the health insurance. The divorce was finalized in record time, uncontested, clean. I got my car, half the savings, and a storage unit of furniture that he already had prepared. He kept the house, the plants, all 47 of them, and the reputation of being the good guy who tried everything. Yesterday was my first shift at the satellite campus. Smaller, quieter, no trauma surgeons. The drive is actually nice, and time to think or not think. My new supervisor seems kind. Nobody knows my story yet, though I'm sure they will. This morning at 6 o'clock in the morning, I woke up to no pre-warmed vehicle. I made instant coffee instead of portioned French press, and the apartment is exactly the right temperature because I set it myself. I found a sticky note in my scrubs pocket when I got to work. It was Hint's handwriting. Thank you for not contesting. Thank you for signing the affidavit. Thank you for 4 good years before it went bad. The tulips were real. I hope something else will be too. Yeah, 4 good years. He'd calculated exactly when I stopped loving him. The note is in my locker now. Sometimes I look at it between patients and wonder if kindness always had teeth, or if I taught it to bite. Dr. M, he's teaching at Northwestern now. His wife posted about their little fresh start on the hospital's donor Facebook page, and someone screenshot it and sent it to me, thinking they were being supportive. My husband, or should I say ex-husband, still donates to the nursing scholarship, and I know, because they sent me a thank you card as the daughter of the namesake. He increased it this year. Kay finally texted last week, "How are ya?" I just sent back one word that said alive. So that's it. I wanted to feel alive and ended up destroying everything. I wanted chaos and got consequences. I wanted passion and learned that sometimes kindness is the most brutal thing of all. When it documents your destruction while still warming your car. To everybody who said I should have just left clearly, well, you know what? You were right. To everyone who said the grass is not greener, yeah, you're right, it's been cut and killed. It's just astroturf and I'm allergic to the rubber pellets. To everyone who said my husband deserves better, yeah, he knew it. He knew before I did. So I work nights now. Sometimes at 3 in the morning when the ward is quiet, I think about texting him, "I'm sorry." But he already knows I am. He probably has a spreadsheet for my regret patterns. Column A, day since divorce. Column B, probability of contact. Column C, optimal response strategy. The surgeon who worked my first trauma at the satellite campus said good catch about something I flagged, and I just felt nothing. Turns out this was never about the words. Final edits. Since everyone's asking, yes, I'm in therapy. Yes, I know I'm the villain in the story. Yes, I understand I got what I deserved. I know. The scholarship in my mother's name is for nurses pursuing advanced degrees. He remembered that she always wanted me to get my master's. Even in revenge, he was thoughtful. I don't know if that makes it better or worse. And to the person who DM'd asking if this was, fake, I wish. Fiction would have given me a better ending, or at least one where the laundry didn't matter so much. That's it. No more updates. I'm done. Guys, this was an interesting story, but there's a couple things I want to talk about that I was noticing in the comment section. First of all, it seems there were a lot of people who were taking up for OP, even though she is a cheater. They were saying that she was unhappy, she needed to find a way out, she didn't know how to do it, she had a comfortable life, and they were basically excusing the fact that she cheated on her husband, even though he knew about it. And there were other people who were arguing that point completely, did not agree with it, said it doesn't matter if she was unhappy, she should have just told her husband how she was feeling, get a divorce like 50% of other people do, and just get out of there instead of going behind his back, having to make him get a PI and do all these extra steps when they could have just left equally and said, I'm done. I want to know which side you guys agree with more. Do you think that OP had a right to do what she did because she wasn't happy and she wanted out? Or do you think that she's a dirty homewrecker and she cheated and she does not deserve to have peace of mind at all, and she's truly the villain of the story? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Guys, thank you for joining me on today's video. And if you want more daily stories, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Let me know what you think about this one. It was pretty crazy. And tomorrow, we have an insane inheritance story about a barn. That's right. I'll see you guys then. Have a great day. And of course, remember one thing. It's cool to be kind. Peace.